Meet the art piece Oof by my little brother, who has a talent for coloring in between the lines, or retrieved from the draft folder of a graphics design student who was trying out some colors and fonts. Well, actually, this is made by Edward Ruscha, and the piece is in the MoMA, the pop art section, which is mainly known for Andy Warhol's famous or arguably infamous Campbell soup cans. What these pop artists did was provocative, rejecting the idea that art needed to portray some deeper meaning or be a product of emotional introspection, as was the trend with Expressionism at the time. Warhol, Ruscha, and other pop artists wanted to break down the cultural hierarchy that decided what was a worthy subject of artistic creation. They did this by turning their fascination for everyday objects and references to popular culture into fine art. So, how did Rouchet create a piece of fine art from the word oof? Well, there's an interplay between expectations. On the one hand, this resembles something like an advertisement with large, bold letters and consistent typography, centered text, and flashing colors. But those expectations aren't fully met, partially because the colors are not perfectly even. Advertisements were printed in ink, nowadays also often in LED, mediums that do a much better job than oil paint at homogeneously spreading color. The uneven application of oil paint makes some areas darker and others lighter, adding depth and texture to the painting. Especially at the lower and upper borders of the text, he seems to have added a thicker layer of paint, creating a line that alludes to sketch lines you might see on a graphic design sketch. This creates a focus on the letter, which is enhanced by a change in direction of the brushstrokes from horizontal to vertical. The choice of color adds an extra layer of satire to the piece. First off, choosing cobalt blue as the background color obviously catches attention as it's a very vibrant color, but it's also incredibly expensive and considered by Van Gogh as a divine color. So, using it as the background color in a piece this size and this unworthy of artistic expression in the first place is quite the provocative move. The cobalt blue also contrasts very nicely with the bright yet calm tint of yellow. Looking at the yellow almost gives you a bit of a breather from the overwhelming background, and the curved brushstrokes in the O's add to the soothing effect. There's complexity in that the comfort of this color and curved form starkly contrasts with the actual meaning and connotation of the word itself. An exclamation of discomfort after something like a punch in the face. The surprising visual complexity and satirical messages are all fun and games, but to be fair, these artists had nothing to lose in provoking. They only gained an audience that was willing to pay them more than the commercial art industry just because they played around with some paint. And in that case, the MoMA money and the cobalt blue would have, in my opinion, been better spent on an art piece with a subject that had some more social value.